All right, now how many of you guys walk to school? Well, how many of you guys are in school to begin with? I feel like most of my audience probably already graduated, but if I have any people that are in school still, do you guys walk to school? When I was in school, I did never walk to school. I was always on the bus or either get driven to school or, yeah. I mean, I lived kind of when I went to this one school where I lived maybe like a minute or two away from the school. That's a drag. It was more like 5 minutes. I didn't really want to walk. I had to walk home one day, but I never really, walked to school. I know some people actually do walk to school every single day. I knew this one kid in my high school. He walked an hour every day to school. I'm like, my guy, you are a trooper. He had legs. He had legs like a soccer player or something. Like that guy, you should have seen his calves. They were crazy. But yeah, today we're checking out a video called "Why Americans Don't Walk to School Anymore." So yeah, it seems like in all the movies when there's like a school involved, like a high school movie, they're always walking to school, And I know sidewalks are mainly disappearing today. So like my neighborhood doesn't have sidewalks. So yeah, it's weird. We're definitely moving past the basic American dream culture that we all set up for ourselves. Having a white picket fence, nice family, sidewalks, walking to school, taking a bike to school, But yeah, anyway, I'm talking too much. Anyway, we're going to check out this video. I'll leave it in the link in the description. Why don't Americans walk to school? Join the Discord and check out the gaming channel. Link in the description. Let's check out the video. Why don't Americans walk to school anymore?
This is a sidewalk in the American suburb where I grew up. Or at least, well, it could be a full sidewalk. Just sort of ends here. It also starts just...
Yeah, that's weird. That's bizarre. I've never seen a sidewalk just end like that.
Visibly over there. But interesting...
Oh yeah, it ends over there too. Did they like dig it up? There's no way that you can literally see the grass where the space is for a sidewalk.
It could be a full sidewalk, just sort of ends here. It also starts just visibly over there.
That's
but
so weird.
Interestingly enough, there's actually a big reason for this. And in fact, the US government and state governments claim it's not their responsibility. Any township that try and
like his children were getting kidnapped.
Solve this problem.
Walking to school, a little girl got snatched up, her body was found a week later in a cave somewhere.
Of the pedestrian infrastructure, well, they end up not being able to do much due to one sneaky reason. In Deptford Township, the township in which I am standing right now, they made a big announcement last year that ruffled a few feathers. They said, if you're in which I am standing right now.
That is a huge Chick-fil-A. Or am I just like that? Okay, maybe it's the camera. It makes it look huge. That is a huge Chick-fil-A, dude. Also, what is this building? Is that a prison? Is that a prison or is that like, that's gotta be like a school or something. There has to be a school. There's no way they have a prison right next to a Chick-fil-A. That's a Wawa. I can already tell. That's a Wawa. If you guys don't know what Wawa is, I'm pretty sure that's a Wawa. That's either a Wawa or a Sheetz or something. Got a Wawa. Okay, nice little town. Over here, there's probably a Jersey Mike's, a Subway somewhere. There's probably a Rose's somewhere in there. Maybe a Food Lion, if you guys have ever heard of that. Dollar General, probably. Family Dollar. Something like that. A nice suburb. This looks like a nice area to live. It looks really old, but really new at the same time. Like, this road looks really nice. I'm talking too much, but this is a really nice area. I like this.
Now, they made a big announcement last year.
Looks like every American
that
town.
Ruffled a few feathers. They said if your student lives within 2 miles of their local school, they will no longer receive free public bus services to the school. They have to walk. This sounds like a reasonable request if you're used to more British or European roads. But here, oh my God, the reaction was so immediate.
What? My 300-pound 7th grader can't walk to school. How about that? We'll stop feeding her donuts, Mom.
So fierce, the school district completely scrapped the plan within a few days. My name is Evan Ettinger, and welcome to my hometown. Today, I'm going to be taking you on a walk from where I grew up to where I went to elementary school to show you why Americans don't walk to school.
Because we're fat and overweight. This is a nice road, dude. I love the look of this town. Where is this? I'm pretty sure he said it. This is such a cool looking place. I don't like this suburb, though. Every house looks the exact same. This is a nice town. We got a little cul-de-sac here. Nice school, nice wooded area. It's only long before they destroy all these trees and build neighborhoods, but it's nice. I really like the look of this place. It looks like Pennsylvania or Virginia, maybe New York, possibly. Definitely Northeast.
This is my family
Ohio.
home. I grew up in this small home here in Deptford, New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
Lived in it for the first 14 years of my life. I had to go to school, an elementary school. I live very close to the elementary school, just about a mile or one.
Yeah, that's That's what I say. It's right here. I'm pretty sure the camera would have been like here because I was looking at these houses. I saw the high. Oh, that was a highway. Oh, that didn't look like a highway, but I guess so. It's a weird looking highway.
1.5 kilometers.
I'm from North Carolina, and our highways don't look like that. They're a lot more wide, and the roads aren't as dark. The pavement never gets paved over.
To get there. But I was never really allowed to walk. I had to get the school bus. So I figured, let me just take you on my walk that I would do if I were allowed to walk to school. This is Narratican Apartments. It's quite a nice little development. I wasn't actually a part of it. We were like the one hole.
I wonder, did he wait for that truck to drive, or is that like someone he knows?
To walk to school.
Did he wait for that truck to drive by?
This is Narratican Apartments. It's quite a nice little development. I wasn't actually a part of it. We were like the one holdout family that had the land from ages ago. There's lots of trees, there's lots of people. It's
God, nice. Is he using an FX30 to film a
really
face
nice
cam? Oh, that looks like an A7 IV. That's what I'm using too.
place.
It's a nice camera.
You might have noticed something pretty important seems to be missing in this safe little development. Sidewalks. There are no sidewalks anywhere here in this nice development.
Yeah, just walk on the street, dude.
Interesting that, isn't it? I have to just walk on the road. There's not really much space here for me.
Yeah, walk on the road or walk in the creek beside the road
to walk
and get eaten by a black bear.
And it's not really comfortable, you know. There's poison ivy all over this town, so I don't really want to get that as a kid either. Thankfully, it's Labor Day, so this street was not busy. Oh, but now I'm about to go to Highland Avenue.
I love how wooded this place is. This is so beautiful, dude. Look at all the trees. This is so pretty. I love the look of there not being a humongous city. Like, I like how there's no skyscrapers in the distance. Like, well, there probably are somewhere because New York is near New Jersey, so you could probably see New York in the distance. But I like the look of this. This is neat. I would have loved to grow up.
A lot of people might just be very used to America the way it is right now, and they're just
when I look outside my window, there's not many trees. I mean, there's a few, but not like this.
This is how it's always been. Actually, no. There was a study that found that in 1969, about 50% of school children walked to school. And the number is much higher when it came to children that were living within a mile of their school. However, if you look at the number,
48% of 1969, 2009, 13%. Yeah, no one's walking to school anymore.
Is much.
I think a lot of that has to do with violence and you know, kids getting snatched up or kids not being trusted, you know, stuff like that. But
higher when it came to children that were living within a mile of their school. However, if you look at the data from recent times, that number's dropped to 13%. That's insane. Only 13% of school children are walking to school. And when you know the reasons why, it's not safe. It makes sense. Not just that. In the 70s, there was also this big stranger danger scare in America.
Yeah, I mean, that's why during every serial killer abduction you hear about is during the 70s. Oh, this girl was walking to school, or she was walking home from school. She got snatched up, and next thing you know, her body's in a creek somewhere. So, yeah.
And so a lot of parents were scared of letting their children out of the house walking anywhere because the strangers. And so that stigma against strangers, against going outside, prevented a lot of kids from naturally going out walking, and fewer people walking, less walking infrastructure.
Yep, well said.
As you can see right now, I'm actually walking in the emergency lane. Back when I lived here, this emergency lane didn't actually exist.
I thought that was a bike lane.
This was all just one big road. Very recently, they've converted this into a bike lane.
Oh, okay.
A bike lane. This little dim white line, that's going to protect the cycles. Yeah, no. You can't just put one bike lane up and
that car is literally driving
expect people to bike.
in the bike lane.
It's going to protect the cycles. Yeah, no. You can't just
that car
put
is
one
in the bike lane
up and expect people to bike. You need to have a network similar to pedestrian stuff. And take note, I'm currently just walking on the road. There is no separation for me, and I'm a 35-year-old adult. I can do this. I used to do this walk all the time without my parents' permission to go to the library to play some RuneScape, but it's just crazy that this entire area can't afford a single sidewalk. Here we go. This is the first chance when I can kind of walk in the grass for a little bit. This is nice. I'm under a tree. There's a nice bit of greenery there. I'm finally able to avoid standing in the road where a lot of drivers will just absolutely book it down this road. This road says 25 miles an hour, but no one actually does that. No one
25.
goes 25.
I mean, I wouldn't do that either. 25 miles an hour. What am I driving through a neighborhood? I don't even drive 25 in a neighborhood. I go like 30, 35 sometimes. I mean, that says a lot about me, but hey, your boy's never been in a crash, and I've had my license for 3 years. Your boy's never even been in a fender bender. I've never had any accidents, nothing. So 25 on a long straight like that, I'd be going at least 55
down here because there's no repercussion.
I mean, call me a bad driver, but shoot, I'm not going 25 miles an hour on a long straight in the middle of the forest. You got me messed up.
So most drivers that I see end up going like 50, 60 miles an hour up and down here because they can, really.
And I feel like that's justified, dude. If there's a long straight road, I'm not going 25 miles an hour.
I'm only about 8 minutes into my walk, and now I've gotten to my first obstacle.
I feel like they need to change that. At least 35, right? Because then you can go 40, and then you can go 50, and then you can go 60.
Child pedestrian. Not only do I not have a pavement, I don't have a sidewalk, I kind of have to walk around this barrier. This is what the township thinks that the children should have to do. So I guess we just have to do it, right? So here we go. So,
well, you walk in the street, obviously.
Just got to get to the other side of this guardrail. Yet again, there's no sidewalk, no pavement. Carrying on. At least I can feel, as a pedestrian, a little protected by the presence of this guardrail. Oh, all right, let's just avoid the poison ivy. And look, oh my God, there's a bridge. For, I guess at some point in time, maybe people did walk back in the day, in the 50s and 60s in this area. And you have this lovely bit of Woodbury Creek that goes through here.
Oh, I would love the fish in there.
But we must carry on.
Probably not very deep, though.
I've got to go to school. I'm already late. And there's just a sign in the way. Oh,
poison ivy. Yep, that's nice.
And there's just a sign in the way.
There's a sign with no indicator. It's just a pole.
That is some very large poison ivy. That could have hit me right in the face.
There's nothing on that pole.
Look at that.
He needs to pull that out of the ground and throw it in the creek right there.
Oh, no. No, thank you. This is the one thing you do not want. British people, your nettles are nothing compared to poison ivy and poison sumac. This stuff is insane. And look at it. Ah! Woo! Woo! You know what?
Honestly, I just walk in the street. That road looks pretty bare. It doesn't look like I've seen like 2 cars pass in the entire time I've been watching this, so I'd walk on the road, man.
I think a spider has claimed this area. He's got 8 legs. I only have 2. He's more of a pedestrian than I'll ever be. I'm just gonna have to do what I did as a kid. I didn't want to do this either. Now I've got to get in the road while drivers go way over the speed limit. All right, so at least
I just almost gets ran over.
Now I've got to get in the road.
I mean, at least they're giving you space. At least they're not driving like here. Their car earlier was literally in the bike lane, so.
While drivers go way over the speed limit. All right, so at least I'm not gonna get poison ivy today. We're gonna stand this way. We are in the cycle lane though, so if any cyclists did exist here at the moment, I could be hit by them, but hey, rather them than a car. Craziest part about this journey at the moment, I haven't really needed to cross the road yet. So thankfully I haven't needed some sort of pedestrian crossing, despite the fact that, well, there hasn't been any yet. A 2004 study
why do you need
found that
when cars
40%
exist?
of pedestrian deaths actually occur at crossings without a crosswalk. And a more recent updated study found that number is 74%. So 74% of pedestrian deaths in the USA are because they're crossing at a place that doesn't have a safe crosswalk for them. You'd think that this would cause maybe the townships to then build crosswalks, but they kind of get hung up a bit. You see, a lot of townships like Deptford, where I am right now, they do these meetings every 8 years to talk about the infrastructure in the town and see how they can improve the lives of their citizens. It turns out they're aware of all these issues, and in fact, the people that are in charge, they understand what complete streets are, building streets for all forms of infrastructure, road, bike, pedestrian, public transport. But every time they've tried to initiate things, the most they can really do is this, nothing. They just take an emergency lane and they—
Imagine being one of the people in the car, just like seeing this guy on the side of the road, just flipping out, like imagine what they're coming home from work. It looks like it's about like 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock. Sun's going down. They're just trying to get home. This guy's on the side of the road. They probably think he's crazy.
Put a bike on segments of it and they say, that's it. That's all we can do. And the reason is, the one sneaky law that gets in the way they don't have jurisdiction. The incredible large majority of all the roads in New Jersey are run by the New Jersey Department of Transportation. That is at a state level. So if a township is like, hey, we're having a lot of people die on our roads because of the poor design, we'd like to fix it, they have to then appeal to the actual state to be like, hey, can you guys solve this problem for us? And if the state goes, no, we don't have budget, or we're doing all this other stuff like corruption and stuff, they're like, well, the best we can do is paint a bike on the side of an emergency lane and say, we tried our best. And here is a point where I kind of need to cross the street. I don't have a way to cross the street safely.
Is that the school over there?
And so
you pretty much just cross it whenever there's no cars.
Cars coming. There's a public library. I'm going to way to cross the street safely.
Isn't that a car coming?
There's cars coming. There's a public library. I'm going to cross right here. And as a child, I don't have as much, perception. I don't have as much of a reaction time. I could just get hit by a car trying my best not to. This is true American infrastructure. We've got ourselves our first sidewalk.
Oh, all right? Yeah. Oh, this is where he filmed that other part at.
Ta-da. Oh, God, I'm so excited. Now, you might be wondering why do we have the sidewalk just start here? What's going on? Is there a reason for this?
There's space for it to continue down.
Actually, in the state of New Jersey, and pretty much every single state in the entirety of the USA, with the exception of some small towns in Connecticut and Washington, D.C., the way that sidewalks are maintained and repaired and even built is not actually down to the state at all. So if this is built, it could have been built by the homeowner here, or if a developer is building any new builds, they are required to put the minimum amount of sidewalks in for the people that live there.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your sidewalk for 2 minutes, or 20 seconds, my bad.
And that is it.
Depending on how slow you walk. Well, I would be walking pretty slow here. I'll take it in.
That's why you have this patchwork of spaghetti.
I feel like they only have it, though, because of this driveway. If there wasn't a home here, it'd probably just be nothing.
Have the sidewalks like this, just sort of fucking end. That's it. Federally mandated. This is all I have to do, so that's all I'm going to do. There is no...
Dude, I know the board of this town. They're tripping. They're pissed at this guy. How many views does this have? 2 million views. Yeah. Yeah. You know they're pissed right now. They're like, this fucking YouTuber exposing our stupid infrastructure.
State or federal or even township level that require them to do the entire thing. The only part of transport infrastructure that the USA and almost every state really care about is this bit right here, the road for cars. When it comes to the pedestrian infrastructure, which is a very important part.
Yeah, because America is just a car-made society,
The network.
No one... There's it's not really a thought of, people walking or people biking. It's like car. You buy a car. You want to go somewhere, you take a car to get there.
The cycling, the public transport, the pedestrian infrastructure, that is left out to the homeowner. If you're in the event in which you come across a bit of sidewalk that is broken up, you could trip and fall maybe, or like this clip I filmed the other day somewhere in National Park.
Oh, yeah.
No. Video. Yeah, that woman was upset that I was...
I mean, imagine you come outside, you just see some guy in your yard just like... I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, dude, what are you filming? Is that a dog? What is that? That looks like a dog down there. Yeah, this is terrible. This looks like crap, dude. This entire neighborhood.
No. Video. Yeah, that woman was upset that I was filming. I was like, why is there no sidewalk here? And she went, oh, it's because the person that's living here, she's elderly.
I would have went like, I'm actually recording a documentary for Netflix. Make it sound real nice. Then get her permission to do so.
Can't do it. Usually the way this works is if you're having a broken bit of sidewalk or a missing bit of sidewalk, the township...
Like I'm from Netflix, just getting B-roll clips.
...is actually meant to be monitoring, going around, or you could report it to them, and then they're meant to contact the homeowner and say, hey, see that cement in front of your house? That's your responsibility. You need to fix that. Or if you don't do it in 30 days, we'll do it for you and we'll bill you. Now, that actually was a system that made sense when they started it in the 70s. This way, the township wouldn't have to have all this responsibility for the huge amount of pavements, and they could just worry about the roads. The issue, as you can imagine, not everything is reported all the time. This also makes it so that because there's no one body in charge of all of the network, it means that you're just going to have crumbling bits of infrastructure.
Another way is just to channel money.
Structure everywhere, or large swathes of no sidewalks at all. Now, I did bring up in the intro that Deptford Township did...
God, this is a nice looking town, dude. I really like
make an announcement last year that they were no longer going to...
The thing is, there's space for a sidewalk, though. They just end. Like, why doesn't this continue here? Why does it cut off? Why do you have to walk in the grass for 15 seconds? Just continue the side. The other side, there's not even a sidewalk.
I did bring up in the intro that Deptford Township did make an announcement last year that they were no longer going to provide free public buses for students to go to school if they were within 2 miles. And everyone was really upset about this.
This here is an example of some of the roads her son may have to use on his walk to school. As you can see, there's no sidewalks here.
Yeah, just get over it, walk in the street.
They haven't said they're going to put crossing guards at these intersections or anything like that. So that's nerve-wracking for somebody who's, 9, 10 years old.
If you didn't know, 55% of students in the USA are currently bused to school, and this costs approximately $21 billion per year, or somewhere around $850.
That could be free. That could be free by just adding sidewalks
Per child going to school. That's a lot of money that is honestly wasted when you could just invest in pedestrian infrastructure, and then it's not just for children, everyone can benefit.
and everyone's healthier too.
So as I'm approaching my school here, the sidewalk quality has just a
I thought this guy was getting rolled up on.
benefit. So as I'm approaching my school
I thought
here,
he was getting, someone was rolling up on him, gonna point a gun out the. thought it was the mayor of the town seeing him film this.
the sidewalk quality has just a little bit increased. You can see that these are actually a bit more fresh. We've also got the standard little raised bit of buttons here. You can
Those
see
are
that
some
these are
weird
actually a
looking
bit more
street lights.
fresh. We've also got the standard
I don't know, New Jersey is a lot different from North Carolina.
little raised bit of buttons here so that blind people ideally are able to feel them and know, oh, there's a crossing here. And as you can see, we've actually got our first pedestrian crossing. Now
Imagine you're blind trying to walk to
that
school.
we are 1 block from the school.
I'm on
US
the sidewalk. They're actually walking in the middle of the street.
did initiate the Safe Routes for Schools program, which essentially put a lot more budget into making sure that kids would have a safe route to get to school. They invested in more pedestrian crossings and safe walking infrastructure, but yet again, because it is not one body that is in charge of it, it kind of falls flat.
Here's how this all works. All across the US, townships and states offload the cost, maintenance, and even the legal liability of sidewalks to homeowners, despite the fact that
It's a nice looking suburb.
sidewalks are usually public land owned by the government. So if someone slips or trips on the poorly maintained sidewalk that is on public land, the government can avoid being sued by placing that responsibility on public land. The government can avoid being sued.
Is that?
Poorly maintained sidewalk that is
Am I tripping or am I seeing cars go
on
under
public
here?
land. The
Where does
government
that go to?
can
Oh, is that a
avoid
high? It's a highway right
being
underneath the road. Okay, that's cool.
by placing that responsibility instead on the nearest private homeowner. Just imagine what the roads would look like if any potholes or cracks near your house were your responsibility, or if the closest telephone pole went down and you had to fix the power grid. It's just nonsense. So because the system was built to avoid any responsibility, it is working as intended. Nothing ever gets done, and the problems only get worse.
There we go. So, whew. And we get to cross our first street with an actual crosswalk. How exciting. Lovely. Now, when it comes to the Safe Routes for Schools program, at some schools, they did find that by building the crosswalks and pedestrian infrastructure around the school, they were able to increase the amount of students walking by 13 to 20%. And California found that they actually had a decrease of 75% of pedestrian accidents by increasing the amount of safe routes to school. Yet, all this positive data, yet again, doesn't do much if the people in charge of maintaining this bit of pavement, this bit of sidewalk, are the people that live in this house, that I'm assuming are not professional pavers and also don't really care because the system doesn't work for them either. It does bring back memories doing this walk. I think I might have done this walk once when I was in 6th grade, and it was a walk home. And it was because I was so used to walking along that scary bit of road just to get to the library. But it genuinely felt
I do like the look of this area. I might have to move to New Jersey, dude. Honestly.
every single time like I could die, like it was a very scary thing. I was a child and I was afraid of getting hit by a car. My mom, luckily, was someone who did teach me, don't cross the street ever. Delsey Drive will kill you. And so because of that, because of like ingraining this fear of roads into me, it made me so that, well,
Don't cross the street. Well, Mom, how am I supposed to get across the street?
I didn't walk that much, but she was just trying to keep me safe in the world that
Hopefully your kid isn't that stupid to run out into a car.
she was bringing me up.
I mean, in my youth, I crossed a many of roads and I never got hit. Never even got close to getting hit. That's just because I have a brain, though, apparently.
Here I am, time for me to go to school. The school is quite literally right over there, and yet the sidewalk ends.
It ends, so you have to cross the street. You have to walk. Why does it end? It can easily continue up here. It could be a crosswalk right here to go to this sidewalk. This town just doesn't care, dude.
This is where we have buses, school buses that come down, the cars can come down. Not even visible from the school is any student in Deptford Township actually given a safe route across a road. And I think that is why there was such a public backlash against the township for having the audacity to try and save some money, while the upper superintendents of the township make 150 grand a year. They can go, oh, sorry guys, we can't afford to pay for the school buses.
Yeah, we can't afford it. I just bought my 5th yacht, though.
Kids anymore. They can just walk. What they're essentially telling the Americans that live here is, your children can just die. We'd rather they die than put any sort of sensible system in place. And I know that, like I said, a lot of times this isn't down to the township. It is a state problem where the Department of Transportation of New Jersey needs to get their act together. But as any American in my comment section is probably sounding off, this is not a New Jersey problem. This is not a Pennsylvania problem. This is a U.S. problem that needs someone to step up and take control. They need some sort of Department of Transportation that actually focuses on pedestrian infrastructure, or more and more children will die. More and more people will die.
Yeah, we got to go back to the old America.
It was an international...
Well, not the old America, but...
news story that came across my feed that 2 hockey stars were cycling in Salem County, New Jersey, and they got hit by a car. And people say all the time, oh, it's because of the distracted driving. No, it's not. You have distracted driving in every country. What you don't have in every country is shitty infrastructure. So that is where America needs to step up to the fucking plate.
This guy's passionate about it.
Thank you very much.
Is that the school he went to?
For walking with me today. I hope things get better over here.
He has to walk all the way back home. He gets hit by a car on the way back home.
It's been 30 years since I did this walk, and the only difference is a painted on bit of bicycle. So, probably
Sad.
not. Anyway, time to head back to London, where I don't think that I might die when I cross the road. Thanks for watching, and hopefully...
Oh, so he lives in London.
I'll see you on my
cool.
channel next Sunday. Goodbye.
Wow. That was a great video, man. It felt like a documentary. I loved how, like, the cinematography of it, you could see him filming, you could see him walking, and he also had, like, statistics. It was a great video. Loved it. Definitely gonna check out more of this guy. But let me know what you guys think. Do you have a sidewalk? Do you think sidewalks should be more mainstream? I shouldn't even have to say that. I think sidewalks should be everywhere where there's a road, wherever it's convenient, sidewalks should be. But yeah, obviously sidewalks shouldn't be on some road in the middle of 30 minutes outside of a city, like in the middle of nowhere. But like in residential areas, it didn't hurt to have a sidewalk, you know. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys thought of the video. I also feel like, though, I feel like roads are getting bigger so that it can kind of accommodate for the space of not having a sidewalk. I feel like, because my road in my neighborhood is huge. It's really wide, but it's mainly for cars to park, you know, on their beside their house. But I don't know if that's because of that, or are they making up for the space of the sidewalk? I don't know. Don't really know who makes the rules in this county, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video, and until next time, peace out.